Today we will be taking a look at the Ace 6.5 Full House. Let's just go straight into it, starting with our PCB. The Ace 6.5 has an exploded 65% layout. The PCB looks absolutely stunning. Each socket has one of the house logos on it. The amount of detail is crazy. Since the Ace 6.5 is a gasket mounted board, there are two main flex cuts on this PCB, one at the top and one at the bottom to achieve more flexibility. The one I have with me is hot swappable with Gateron hot swap sockets. A soldered version is also available, which I would actually have preferred for this board. Which also brings me to my next point, our plates. For our plates, I got sent two plates. The first one is a full aluminum plate. I don't normally use aluminum plates, not a huge fan of how aluminum sounds. I don't think I have actually built a premium board with an aluminum plate. The second plate I have is a carbon fiber half plate, which means the center of the plate just doesn't exist. It's basically an empty space. I have never used a half plate and I really wanted to use this. But since I have a hot swap PCB, you can't really use a half plate with a hot swap PCB because the switches will be a little bit too loose without the plate holding it in. So today we will be using the aluminum full plate. Next up is our foam kit. The standard foam kit you would expect. A PCB PE foam. We have some case foam in two different thickness. PCB foam, plate foam, and 2mm pour-on gaskets. Now that we have run through most of the things we're going to be using to build it internally, let's start building. After installing my stabilizers, I put on the PE foam. Hold on, before you go down to the comment section and say why are you using PE foam, chill, okay? I have never used aluminum plate with PE foam. This is a first. I was quite curious as to how it would sound. PE foam plus aluminum plate, so calm down. You don't need to go down there and say why using PE foam. Aside from the PE foam, I installed the plate foam and we can put on our full aluminum plate. Time for the switches. These are the Aflion Sky switches. A 5-pin linear switch, polycarbonate top, nylon bottom, POM long pole stem, bottoms out at 60 grams with a 15mm spring. The switches are not factory looped. I did not loop them either, so these are stock, like really stock. Anyway, after installing our switches, we can finally install our gaskets. And there we go, our internal build is done. We can move on to our exterior. Let's start with our case. The Ace 6.5 was designed by an enthusiast who had a cardistry hobby. And I cannot believe I got pink. I literally don't know what keycaps to put on it. Realistically, I would think of like GMK Darling or PPD Fence Rim, but I don't have any sets that would match a pink board. Based on the IC I was looking at, there was only black or white and it looks totally different. So I didn't request for a special color, but it's pink. Yay. But yeah, realistically, I could put on just plain white keycaps and just call it a day, but that's a little bit too boring. Anyway, the case is made from 6063 aluminum, 7-degree typing angle, and the USB cutout is down the center. For our weight, I have this really cool PVD counterweight. Like seriously, the design is so intricate and it looks so cool. I just haven't seen something like it. Aside from this PVD weight, there is this mini slot to insert the name piece. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the name piece. It kind of ruins the whole PVD look for me. But if I left it empty, it would look even weirder. So I'll just have to run it. Anyway, at the front of the board, it features a badge on the top right corner. And they were really nice. They actually made a custom badge with my name on it. So while I was filming, I saw this other box that felt quite heavy. I was like, maybe more badges, that kind of stuff. And I opened it and I was like, wait, these are cards. They're nice cards, but I don't know. Anyway, it's time for our daughterboard. I mean, just look at the daughterboard. The house design is on the daughterboard as well. Like, dude, that's too detailed. And that's about it. I put the whole thing back together and now comes the hardest part of this build. Figuring out what keycaps to put on this thing. So I decided to give GMK Serenity a shot. Since my weight and badge are purple, so I figured maybe purple keycaps would kind of bring the whole thing together, you know? Honestly, I don't know how to feel about it, and it kind of looks weird to my eyes, but it doesn't at the same time, so let me know what you think of this. But I probably will go with a white keycap set once I'm done filming the video. But yeah, this is the Ace 6.5 Full House.
The sky is falling. Everybody's gonna grab the cloud. The sky sky is falling.
Alright, let's start with the looks. I will give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. I'm not the biggest fan of an exploded 65% layout, more into the compact 65% layouts. The PVD weight looks really stunning, the badge is really cool. I just really wish the name piece was the same color as the counterweight. One thing I gotta say is the amount of detail in the PCB and daughterboard, that's just really mind-blowing to me. As for sound, it is a 9 out of 10 for me. It sounds really good. It's not your classic PE foam with polycarbonate sound, aluminum plate with PE foam. Kinda rock with it. I definitely would have used the half plate if I had a solder board, and I wouldn't have used PE foam, so if I get a chance, I'll probably go grab a soldered PCB. For the feel, I think it's pretty aight. It's about a 6 out of 10 for me. Probably because I'm using aluminum plate, not really used to it. Gasket mounted aluminum plate doesn't really add up together to me. But overall, I would give it an 8 out of 10. If you're interested in this, you can go check it out in the description down below. It is a little pricey. If I'm not wrong, it starts at $400 US, but if you have the extra budget, it's the start of a new year, you can make it your 2023 keyboard. Aside from that, while you're down there checking out the keyboard, click the subscribe button, like the video if you have one keyboard, and comment down below your thoughts on the keycap choice I made. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Sky is falling. Everybody's trying to grab the cloud. Sky is falling.